Hello everyone, this is Judson, and I wanted to cover directives today in Angular.js. Make sure you go to my blog at www.judsondesigns.com, and also please subscribe to this post or this video if you like what you see. So let's just dive right in. Directives in a nutshell are basically a way that you can create custom tags in Angular, and then you assign a directive which will basically render a template or markup. Common uses for directive would be if you need to display customer information in multiple places throughout a website, and the beauty of it is that you just go to one place like this if you need to update or change anything. So essentially what I've done here, the way that I usually like to configure everything is on my main app configuration where I handle all my routing and everything. I will go in here and I will add a directive to my app module. This is the tag name. This is the function that I created over in my directives folder called directive-customer. This is a very clean folder structure, and I highly recommend doing it this way. Just makes life a lot easier. So I go over to my customer directive, and what I've done here, a lot of people will just put their markup right into this template pattern, but I just find it easier to format it this way because it's a little more indicative of what it is, and it mimics more the style that you would create it, or the semantics of standard HTML document. It's just more readable. So as you can see here, what I've done is I created a ULLI list with name, address, and phone number. And then if I come over to my customer controller, I just created a customer object and name, address, phone number. On my customer page, I simply created a directive called customer, or a tag called customer, and I gave it a little bit of styling. Now please note that I never put my styling inside the page. I'm only doing this for tutorial purpose, so this is definitely not a good practice. So if I go out here to my app, you'll see there's all my information for that directive. Now one thing I want to note is the reason why directive naming is so important is if I were to change this to customer 2, go out here, it's going to break. So it's very important that not only your spelling, your naming convention, but your case usage matches the actual tag that you use for the directive. So it's that simple. Basically, you create a tag, pump some data into an object, or you don't even have to do that. You can just put some standard markup, and then you go out to your directive and you basically assign whatever HTML you want to the template for it. And then when you go out to your page, voila. Now, one thing I want to talk about is overuse of directives and why directives are important, and how to determine whether they're even needed or not. My rule of thumb typically is a directive should be used where you're going to have to put the same markup template in multiple areas within a site. The second part of that, though, is what actually merits doing the directive, because if you just have something as simple as, well, I just need to output customer.name, I mean, this clearly does not this doesn't merit having a directive at all. Excuse me, the syntax is off there. So if I go out here, it's just as easy for me to take this little line of code right here and put it out wherever I need it. It just baffles me why people would want to go to all the trouble to create a directive to output a customer name. Where I think directives are important is when you are having to output a lot of information about a customer, for example in this case, or whatever the case may be, and you have basically one template that you can manage through the directive. Now another reason why it's important, let's say you get a call down the road, you've done this huge app, you've got all these customer directives sitting out there, and your boss calls you up and goes, we're going to get in trouble if we keep displaying the phone number because of privacy reasons. No problem, man. I'm going to go out here, boom, boom, refresh the page, and all 800 pages where you have that customer directive had just been updated in less than 2 seconds. So that's the beauty of directives, and if you have any questions or comments, make sure to leave them on my posts, and don't forget to subscribe and visit judsondesigns.com. Thanks for watching.